Hello guys, good morning. Welcome to our new session. So today's session is about fractions, decimals, and percentages. So let's start. So first I need to know what does it mean percentage. I believe that you had that in year 6, but I need to explain it again. Here I need to know what does it mean percent. I just want to tell you about it. Percent is just from the Latin adverbial phrase percentum. Its meaning it's by the hundred. Or we can make it easier to understand if we made it a fraction with the denominator 100. So the percentage is just a fraction over the denominator 100. It's a part of 100. So let's see here the converting to percent. So first of all, I have two things to convert to percent, decimals and fractions. So let's start with decimals. So for example, 0.5, I need to change it into percent. So guys, percent it's 100. So I'm just multiplying by 100 to change it into percentage. So multiplying by 100 means that I will move this decimal point 2 steps to the right. 1, 2. So it's going to be 50%. And by the way, this is very famous percentage, by the way, 50%. Do you know when you tell somebody it's 50-50? Like half, this is 50%. It's half, it's 50%. Okay, so let's go for the next one. 0.25, what are you gonna do? You're just moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's gonna be 25%. Okay, easy. 0.75, it's gonna be moving two decimal places. Oh, 1, 2, so it's going to be 75%. Okay, last one here. It's 0.8. I need to change it into percentage, so it's going to be 1, 2, so it's going to be 80%. Okay, let's go for the fractions. Fractions here is 1/10. If you remember, when in the last slide, I told you that it's a fraction and its denominator 100. So to change the fraction into percentage, you have two methods. The first method is just to change this fraction into decimal to be like that and then convert it into percentage. Or you can make this fraction something over 100. So you have to make the denominator 100. So all what I'm going to do is to add a 0 in the denominator, or I multiplied by 10 down, so you have to multiply by 10 up. So adding 0 down and up is going to be 10 over 100. So the answer, or to change this fraction into percentage, it means it's 10%. 10 over 100, it means 10%. Guys, if you looked here, this percentage, I'm just removing it and put over 100. So it's 10 over 100, it means 10%. Okay, let's go for the next one. 3 over 10 equals, I'm putting 0 down and putting 0 up, so it's gonna be 30%. Easy, huh? Okay, next one, 70 over 100, so it's gonna be 70%. Easy, one step. And the last one, it's 8 over 100. 8 over 100, it means it's 8%. Okay, so guys, I know that there is a question in your mind. What if the fraction denominator is not 10 or 100? What are we gonna do? Okay, let's go to best friends. Best friends is the key to solve the percentage in this way. So, guys, you know that because I'm a math teacher, I can deal with numbers. So, I have here 2, and when I asked the 2, what's the best friend of you? It told me it's 5. If you remember, I told you this story before. Okay, and when I asked the 4, it told me it's 25. And when I asked the 8, it was 125. So, when I thought about that and asked them about why they are best friends, they told me when you multiply us, you will find the very special number. So 2 times 5, for example, it's equal 10. And 4 times 5, it's going to be equals to, yes, 100. And 8 times 125, it's going to be equals to 1000. Okay, and by the way, these are not just the best friends. I'm not talking about 2, I'm not talking about 5. I'm talking about the digit 2 and the digit 5. So for example, if I have 2 times 50, are they best friends? Yes, because 2 times 50 is going to be a very special answer, which is 100. And here, 40 times 25 is going to be a special answer, it's 1000. And 8 times 1250, it's going to be 10,000. And guys, I want to ask a question. Why do I say that these numbers are special numbers? Because it has one and zeros, no matter how many zeros they have. So it's 1 and 0. Here it's 1 and 1 0. Here's 1 and 2 zeros, 1 and 3 zeros, and so on. So these are the special numbers that we're talking about in the percentage and the fractions. So what are we going to use the best friend for? So let's start here. For example, I want to change 1 over 2. I need to change it into percentage. How can I do that? Easy. I can multiply the denominator's best friend. Guys, focus. I'm talking about the denominator's best friend. I will not look at the numerator at all. So the denominator's best friend is gonna be 5. So I multiply by 5 down, and because I multiply by 5 down, I have to make that up. So it's gonna be 5 over 10. And to change it into percentage, you have to make it decimal, either decimal or to add 0 here and 0 here, so it's gonna be 50%. But here I just change it into decimal, so I move the decimal point 2 steps to the right. 1, 2, so it's gonna be 50%. Okay, 1 over 4. What's the best friend of the denominator? Yes, it's 25. So multiplying by 25 down, I have to make it up. Multiply by 25 up, so it's going to be 25 over 100. So it's going to be 25%. Or 0.25, I need to change it into percentage. So I will move the decimal point 2 steps to the right. So it's going to be 25%. Okay, next, it's 1 over 8. What's the best friend of 8? Yes, it's 125. And whatever you're doing up down, you have to make it up. So I multiply by 125 up. And then the answer is 125 over 1000. This is very important. I need to make the denominators 100, not 10, not 1000. So either you have two methods to either to change it into decimals, so it's going to be 0.125, and then you move the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's going to be 12.5%, or to divide by 10 down and up, because I want to have the denominator 100, and if you divide it by 10 up, so you'll move the decimal point 1 step to the left, so it's going to be 12.5. It's going to be the same answer. Okay, so let's see here, it's 2 over 4. So 2 over 4, I will multiply by 25 down and multiply by 25 up, so it's going to be 50 over 100, so it's going to be 50%. Or guys, by the way, 2 over 4 is going to be equal to half, it's going to be to 0.5, which is equal to 50%. So simplifying is useful here. Okay, 3 over 4, I need to change this 4 to be, I will use the best friend, its best friend, so 4 times 25 and up by 25. So it's going to be 75 over 100. So it's going to be 75, 0.75 or 75% immediately by one step from here. Okay, 5 over 8, it's a little bit hard question. 5 over 8, I will just multiply down by 125 and multiply up by 125. So 5 times 125, I have to make it like the draft. 125 times 5, it's going to be equal to 5 times 5 equals to 25. 5 and carry up 2. And 2 times 5 is going to be equal to 10, plus 2 equals to 12. So 2 and carry up 1. 1 times 5 equals to 5, plus 1 equals to 6. So it's going to be 625 over 1000. So either you change it into decimal or to divide by 10 up and down. So it's going to be 0.625 and move the decimal point 2 steps because you're going to multiply by 100. So it's going to be 62.5%. Okay. So let's have another example. Here, this is the favorite color for a student. The red sector here is quarter of the whole circle. You can write that as 1 over 4 or 0.25 or 25%. Okay, so the first thing, the blue sector is 40% of the pie chart. What fraction is that? Here it's 40%. So to change the percentage into fraction, you will remove this percent symbol and just make it over 100 and then simplify. So 40 over 100, when you simplify it, it's gonna be 2 over 5. Okay, another one. The yellow sector is 0.1 of the pie chart. What percentage is that? So as we know before, I'm just moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's gonna be 10%. Or you change it into a fraction, so 1 over 10, and then add 0 down and up, so it's going to be 10%. And here the last example, the green sector is 5% of the pie chart. Okay, what percentage is the purple sector? I need to know this one. So, guys, the total of this circle, by the way, the total of this pie chart is 100%. So I have the red is 25%, and I have the blue is 40%. So right now I have 65%. And here it's 0.1 is 10%, so 65 plus 10%, it's going to be 75%, and 5% green, so I have 80%. So the remaining from 100% is 20%. So I'm adding the percentage together, and the total percent, by the way, for a thing, for anything, it's going to be 100. So 100% minus 80% is going to be 20%. So guys, it's time for the classwork. I need you to solve this classwork in 10 minutes, so you're going to pause this video for 10 minutes and then you continue. Okay, after you finish that, I need you to solve this other classwork in 5 minutes, so pause this video for 5 minutes and then answer these questions. Okay, let's start by solving the first page. Here, change these fractions to percentages. So I have half. I need to change it into percentage. So I'm just writing it down easy. Number 1a, it's half. I need to change it into percent, so I multiply by 5 down, up. So it's going to be 5 over 10, which equals to 50 over 100, which equals to 50%. Or guys, by the way, if you know that half, quarter, and 3/4 are very important fractions and very important percentages, so I need you to just memorize them. I hate memorizing in math, by the way, but by practicing solving all of these questions, you will find out that half and quarter and 3/4 are very important for you just to deal with. Okay, so let's go to number B. Number B, it's 1 over 4, so I multiply by the best friend, which is 25 down and up, so it's going to be 25 over 100, which equals to 0.25, which equals to 25%. And number C, 3 over 10, it's very easy. I'm adding a 0 down and a 0 up, so it's going to be 30 over 100, which equal to 30%. And number D is going to be the same. Number D is 9 over 10, so I'm adding 0 down and the 0 up, so it's going to be 90%. And 3/4, which is number E, 3/4, I'm multiplying by the best friend, which is 25, and whatever I'm doing down, you have to make it up here. So 75 over 100 is going to be equal to 75 hundredths, which equals to 75%. Okay, so this is for question number 1. Let's go to question number 2. Question number 2, I need to write these decimals as percentages. So the first one is 0.5. I am just moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's going to be equals to 50%. And number B, it's 0.8. So I'm moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's going to be 80%. Number C, it's 0.05. So move the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so 1, 2. So it's going to be 5%. And number D is going to be the same as number C. It's 0.08, so move the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's going to be 8%. And number E, finally, it's 0.77. I will move the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's going to be 77%. Okay, so let's go to question number 3. Write these percentages as fractions. Give your answers as simply as possible. So you need to simplify the fraction that you will write. So here's 20%. 20%, it means 20 over 100. It's a part over of 100. So you have to make the denominator 100 always. So 20 over 100, if you just simplify and divide it by 20 up and down, you will find it's 1 over 5. Okay, number B, 30%. 30% is 30 over 100, so I will just divide by 10 up and down, so it's going to be 3 over 10. Number C, 5%, it's going to be 5 over 100, so I will divide by 5 up and down, so it's going to be 1 over 20. Number D, 65%, it's going to be 65 over 100, which I will divide by 5 up and down, so it's going to be 13 over 20. And finally, number E, it's 95%, so it's 95 over 100, and when I divide them by 5, both of them up and down, so it's going to be 19 over 20. And by the way, guys, divisibility rules is going to be help you to simplify the fractions, and I said that before. Okay, so let's go for the second question. Copy and complete this table. and the first row has been done for you. Here it's 20%, and here the fraction is 1 over 5, and the decimal is 0.2. Okay, let's complete that. 80% is going to be, the fraction is going to be 80 over 100, and when you simplify it, it's going to be 4 over 5. And to change it into decimal, you will just move the decimal point 2 steps to the left because you're dividing by 100. So 1, 2, so it's going to be 0.8. Okay, here it's 0.35, so I need to change it into fraction. It's going to be 35 over 100, and when you simplify it, you will just find it 7 over 20 because I divided by 5 up and down. And the percentage is going to move the decimal point 2 steps to the right, 1, 2, so it's going to be 35%. And here it's 4%. I need to change it into fraction, so it's going to be 4 over 100. And when you divide by 4 up and down, so it's going to be equal to 1 over 25. I'm sorry, it's 25. Okay, the decimal form is going to be 0.04. Okay, 9 over 25, I need to change it first to be over 100, so I multiply by the best friend, so it's going to be 36 over 100. So to change it into decimal is going to be 0.36, and to change it into percent is going to be 36%. And this is question number 4. Question number 5. 1 over 3 is equal to 33 and 1 over 3%. Write 2 over 3 as a percentage. So guys, if you notice that, you will find out that this one became 2. So 1 over 3, actually, it's half 2 over 3. Or 2 over 3 is double 1 over 3. So easily, I can double this number. So what's the double of this number? It's going to be, yes, 33. The double of 33 is 66. And double of 1 over 3 is 2 over 3. And then put the percentage. Okay, let's go for question number 8. 1 over 2 plus 1 over 4 equal 3 over 4. So number A, write the fractions as percentages to make a new addition. So this 1 over 2, it's 50%, right? And this 1 over 4, it's 25%. So when I add them together, it's going to be equal to 75%. And number B, write these fractions as decimal to make a new addition. So I need to change every one of them here into decimals. So here 50% is going to be 0.5, and this 25% is going to be 0.25, and when you add them together, it's going to be 0.75. Okay, question number 9. 20% plus 75% equals 95%. Rewrite this as an addition of decimals. So I need to change this into decimals. So 20% into decimals, so it's going to be 0.2. And this 75%, I need to change it into decimals, so it's going to be 0.75. And it's going to be equals to 0.95. Number B, rewrite this as an addition of fractions. So this 20% is going to be 20 over 100 plus 75 over 100 equals to 95 over 100. And please simplify that. Okay, question number 10. It's 1 over 4 equals to 25%. So 1 over 8 is half of 1 over 4. So write 1 over 8 as percentage. So 1 over 8, by the way, is half the 1 over 4, so its percentage, of course, is half this percentage. So can you please tell me what's the half of 25%? Yes, it's 12.5%. Half of 25 is 12.5, and just put the percentage symbol. So it's 12.5%. Okay, rewrite or write 3 over 8 as percentage. So 3 over 8, I would just multiply 12.5 times 3. So the answer is going to be 37.5%. And here, write 5 over 8 and 7 over 8 as percentages. So 5 over 8 is going to be 5 times 12.5. So it's going to be 62.5%. And here, 7 over 8, so 7 times 12.5, it's going to be equals to 87.5%. And this is your classwork. Okay, so another one. Here, percentages can be larger than 100%. I need you to solve this question. So 1 equals 100%, and 1.5 is equal to 150%. And 2 equals 200%. So there are percentages can be larger than 100%. Yeah. So write these decimal numbers as percentages. So here's 2.5. What do you think? You're just multiplying by 100. It's normal. So change decimal or decimal number into percentage is just moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right. So 2.5, to change it to percentage, I'm moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's gonna be 250%. And here, number B, it's 1.2. I will just move the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's gonna be 120%. And here, what do you think? Yeah, it's 190%. And here 1.75, I'm just moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's going to be 175%. And the last one here, it's 1.88, so I'm moving the decimal point 2 steps to the right, so it's going to be 188%. Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening. Your homework is going to be workbook page 79. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.